Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the cards for the 28th of February 2017. Just a few little things that I need to say before I start with the reading. The reading is beautiful today, absolutely fabulous. You know, the feeling I'm getting from it is really good. But a few little things just to say. First of all, I can't do free readings, so please, don't be offended if I don't answer your message. You know, if you're asking for a free reading, because I can't. The amount of messages I got, if I'd done that all of the time, you know, I do these videos for free. I do the monthly videos for free, which the March ones should be up today. You know, I've got a little bit of time today that I'm going to do them, so sorry that they're late. But please, like I say, I can't do free readings. Even if you send me your story and ask me to comment on it, I can't. I need to tune in to somebody when I'm doing a reading, and I can't just do that straight away. There's a great, I find it quite funny at the moment. There's this term gifting. Could you please gift me a reading? And a gift, I find it quite interesting, because a gift is usually when somebody thinks about you and they want to give you something nice. So it's coming from the person that is offering the gift. If somebody is asking you to gift them something, basically they're asking you, you know, so they're sort of they're putting you in a position where you may feel obliged to do that. Okay, so this is what I think. It's a little like passive aggressive thing, I think, you know, but it seems all the rage at the moment. So like I say, a refusal often offends. So anybody asking me to gift them a reading, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Okay, those of them that are my clients and know me know that at certain times, you know, when I feel drawn to do this, I do it, you know, and I do give a lot back as well, you know. So like I say, I'm not I can't gift people readings. Okay, secondly is if you are booking a reading with me, could you please get in touch with me? There's been quite a lot of payments going through PayPal, and I'm not sure what they are. So if you have booked a reading over this weekend with me and you haven't spoken to me in any way, there's been no communication, could you please get in touch with me today? Because I don't want these to go missing in the ether. I mean, some people actually give donations for me doing these free readings, you know, which is massively, I mean, I'm so grateful to everybody that is subscribing, watching the videos, send me messages, you know, please. So don't take this the wrong way, but you know, if you are booking a reading, could you please either email me or get in touch on my Facebook page, because then I will know what that payment is actually for, you know, or send me a message along with the PayPal payment, because there's so much going on at the moment, and like I say, I don't want to let anybody down. I don't want anybody to think that I've just forgotten them or anything. I haven't. I have a list of emails every single day that I'm having to get back to, but it just makes it easier if you contact me before you pay or after you pay, you know, and then we can arrange something and get you booked in, and both of us know the time that the reading is going to be. So I hope that makes sense. And like I say, I am massively grateful to all the subscribers, you know, everybody for watching these, all of the messages that I'm getting as well. You know, it's just it's blown my mind in a little bit. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that. Right, okay. So back to today's reading. We've taken care of business, and now it's back to the reading. Now, the strange thing, I had very, very bizarre dreams last night, like ridiculously bizarre. There were so many different things, and there was a lot of messages came through in my dreams as well. And I dreamt about a tarot card. One of the particular dreams I had was a tarot card, and then I've got up this morning and it's that tarot card. So, like I say, you know, I sort of seen it coming. So the tarot card that we have today is the Hierophant. Now, this is a card I struggled with. I massively struggled with this when I first started learning tarot. I just couldn't get it, you know, and I didn't know what it was about. But now I actually really, really like this card. And what this card is talking about, it's talking about a teacher. When this card comes up, the Hierophant is a teacher. And if we have a look in this one, it's actually the Dalai Lama. And it's shown as a child, as, you know, middle-aged man, and then as he is now. And this is sort of talking about the stages within our life as well, where we learn, and also the stages within our past lives as well, because we come back to learn the lessons that we didn't learn in the last life, you know. So what this card is saying as well is that, like, no student learns alone, and our learning process is, it's nothing new. It's basically what we're doing is we're just remembering. So if you come across sort of a pearl of wisdom and it resonates with you in some way and you feel that, the chances are you already knew that at some point, whether it was this life, whether it was the past life, and it's just resonating again. So it sparks this little memory, and that is why it resonates with you. And within this card, I love what it says, and it says that I am the singer of the song and you are the listener. Follow my mysteries and you will find the foundations in which to build your journey. So this is a card talking about teachers and how we gain our strength from those and how we learn, because this is what life is. We are learning on a daily basis. And your teacher, it's not always just a place you go to find somebody, to teach you. Your teacher can also be your test as well. This is what's coming in with this. And like I say, you all know I'm not religious, but when I picked up this card, I heard seek and ye shall find, which does come from the Bible somewhere, doesn't it? So what this card is talking about is, it's talking about sort of having like having a dedication to your spiritual path as well, because this is what is needed, I feel, at the moment. We are all on this spiritual path. We've been talking the last couple of days about bringing this balance in, but this is actually talking about, being dedicated to your journey, and like I say, the Dalai Lama there, he is dedicated to his life, and what his life will be. And what I find, a lot of people, when we're going through this transition into the spiritual, we revert back to the normal life, we revert back to the 3D life a lot. And this is because that is habit with us. It is familiar. And to live a spiritual life, you don't have to constantly drink green tea. You don't have to, be praying every single day, although it does help, but you don't. You can live a fulfilling life where it isn't taken up by spirituality. But in order to do that, and in order to have this fulfilling life, you still need to practice what you've learned spiritually on a daily basis, if that makes sense. So one day you can't be working fully from your ego and calling people and feeling victimized and all of this, and then the next day say, oh yeah, but I'm a spiritual being. I see it quite a lot, and I've seen it quite a lot within people. Some people who are put on pedestals as being, sort of spiritually enlightened, and sometimes they are not. They do not act in a spiritual way, and this isn't cool. They are not following that. They may be preaching that in order to teach, but they are not following their rules, they are not walking their own talk. And if you find a teacher that's like that, then, this is when you maybe have to question, is that the right teacher for you? Because actions, and I mean love, love is what is taught by teachers of all faiths. And love is a verb, not a noun, So love isn't about the words that you speak. It's about the actions that you actually do, and the actions that you do on a daily basis, and the actions towards other people as well. So like I say, look for people that walk their talk, sort of thing, that do what they say. All right, Hendrix has just come to say hello son. Right, okay, sorry. Right, so within this card as well, like I say, we're looking at teachers, and it's sort of, many people can say to me, write that down. Many people can say, like, where do I go? Where do I go to learn or whatever? I feel that you find teachers as you go about life. They sort of appear. They say, don't they, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I mean, I massively follow the Yogi Bhajan and Alan Watts. I have found them to be, amazing teachers within my journey, but that doesn't mean that they will be good within yours. It just, that resonates for me. And we're all looking for this quick fix, and we all want to learn, and we all want to get it, and we all want to get it straight away, but there's no one person can actually teach us that. So life gives us answers to things, but what happens is usually when we find an answer to something, then we develop about 3, 4 more questions to something else. And within my journey, I've had many teachers, people that I've read from books, people that I've been in contact with, people that I've sought out to teach courses I've been on and stuff like that. And each one has opened like a new doorway for me and led me to where I needed to be at that time. And each one has showed up at the right time, just when I've needed them. So none of them are more valuable than the other one. They have all been as valuable as each other as well. And some of the greatest teachers I feel that I've had in my life, and other people will, and what you will have as well, have been the people that have wronged you or caused you pain. Now, you didn't seek these people out. You didn't go to a class to find them. They could be people that you have had relationships with. They could be family members, friends, acquaintances, even bosses. And these people, like, the actions of these people, like, have taught me many lessons. And if you look back, you will find that. They could have taught you where to put your trust, because if you've put your trust in somebody and then they've sort of abused that, then they have taught you a lesson there with that. So you have gained something from it. Even though it might have been pain and heartbreak, you have still learned something from it as well. So it's like they may teach you not to take people at face value, because what somebody's words are saying, like I've just mentioned, their actions might not coincide with them. But these people that have wronged you within your life, what you need to look at is they have taught you the power of your own strength, and they have taught you what you do not want in your life as well. So rather than looking at this as how they've destroyed my life, look at how they've enhanced it, because they've given you something back, and maybe this is just like to find your backbone and to stand against and say, no, I'm not going to put up with that again. So like I say, be grateful to those that have wronged you, because some of them are your biggest teachers. When we are getting taught as well, we also have to have an open mind, I think. And I think, we can take little snippets of different teachings, and we can put them together and see what actually works for us as well. We don't even have to know a teacher. We can see something that somebody's written, and we can read that, and that can resonate, and then we go on, we delve in, and we look at their other writings or their other teachings. We can be listening to someone talk and telling you a story, and something can just switch on in your head, a little light bulb moment. And this is what we do within life. We pass our knowledge on to other people. Within Kundalini yoga, they say that we are all students and teachers. This is what we are. We are students, but we teach as well. And what I would say is this, is if you are seeking out a teacher, if you are looking to develop, or looking for guidance in some way, within a good teacher, what I feel is a good teacher is a good teacher will allow you to question. They won't say that their word is God sort of thing. They will allow you to question. They won't use control over you. Within a lot of religions, they say in order to be a good student, you need to do this. I once went and met with this guy, and it was crazy. It was sort of quite culty actually when I got it, and it was like, right, okay, you can't smoke tobacco, which anybody that knows me knows, tobacco is sort of my weakness or my vice. You can't drink alcohol. I don't drink a lot, but I do enjoy having a drink when I want to. You can't eat meat and you can't do that. And I was like, what? I need to do that in order to meditate better? You know what I mean? Yes, if we fill ourselves full of vices, that isn't good either. But being told that you can't do that in order for you to join our group, that is a control form, you know? So a good teacher is ego free as well. And they will help you to get rid of your ego. You know, they won't ask you to obey them, but they'll give you that gentle little nudge in the right direction to sort of wake you up and to see things as they really are, you know. They know that they're not better than you. They remember that they were once where you are, you know, and we are all at different stages within our journey as well. And a good teacher will also learn from their students. When I teach tarot, I learn from every single student. You know, they see it in a different way, and it's like, wow, okay, I never seen it like that. You know, and you learn from them. So it's the Yogi Bhajan, he speaks about teachers, and somebody asked him the question of what is a good teacher, what denotes a good teacher. And he said, it's to have a spirit. A spiritual teacher should have a spirit and live with the spirit. He should teach fearlessly and graciously and nicely and humanly and humbly. Don't look for a teacher, look for integrity. Look for one who can integrate the total of the infinity with the reality of the infinite of the self and still laugh. He knows, but he won't tell. He understands, but he won't speak, because his power is not his own. His power is in his own inner prayer, which is calm, quiet, peaceful, and goes with him. So what this card, I feel, is saying is look today at people you admire. They might not profess to live a spiritual path, but look at them, you know, look at how they live their life. Look at the qualities within them. Look at the integrity that they have, you know, and aspire to be like them. Learn from them. You know, you don't even have to ask them how they got there. You just look at what they do and follow their actions and then follow those yourself. You know, we don't need teachers put on a pulpit or a pedestal. If you put somebody on a pedestal, the chances are they're going to fall off it, you know, and you have expectations of that person, and you will get disappointed when they break that down, you know, when that comes crumbling down, you know. So the answers we are seeking, or like I say, seeking you shall find. The answers we are seeking are around us on a daily basis. You know, they're not always in books, they're not always in classes, they're in the people that we meet, they're in the people that we pass on the street as well, you know, because your greatest teachers will already be in your life, you know, and you might actually be somebody's greatest lesson as well, you know. So be aware of this. And I feel within this, once you're standing in your power, once you are comfortable with who you are, because what happened was another card fell out today. So right, I'm going into the next card here as we do it. So once you are comfortable in this, once you know you are on this growth spurt, and you don't know everything, but you know that you are aspiring to know more, and you are on this learning journey, and you are dedicated to it. You know, you have this dedication of, I want to be this better person, I want to be this the best that I can be. The card we have in is the Four of Wands. Now, this is about stability, and this is about security, and within traditional tarot it is usually about the home or something like that, but in this one it's not. And this is what I love about this, and the fact that these two have come out together. If we have a look at that, it's like that guy is sort of getting like baptized in some way, you know. And if we have a look, it's like, I don't know if this is a sunset or a sunrise, but it's sort of a new dawning. Now, a dawning of a new age they're bringing in there. And a lot of people look at new age practices, and what new age practice is it's a mixture of old bringing it into the new. So it's not new, but we're bringing it into a new age. And this is what the Hierophant says as well, you know, that all of the things we are learning, or the things we're aspiring to, are ancient, and we look back through civilizations and they all knew it, you know, but man put it in a certain way then, and now what we're doing is we're just actually incorporating it into our modern day life. So none of this is new. People say, oh yeah, you know, it's this spiritual craze. It's not a craze. People have been living it for thousands and thousands of years. You know, it was there in the very beginning. So this is what it's saying. It's like it's a new dawn for you, the dawning of a new age, but there's nothing new about it. And within the Four of Wands here as well, it's sort of, if we think of the four structures, there's earth, there's water, there's air, there's fire, they're putting them together. If anybody does any rituals, sort of paganistic rituals or anything like that, we have the four corners. That's what we actually do, because that is where we find our stability. If we have a look, a chair has four legs, because a leg at each side, that's what gives us our security. And what this is saying here is that within your spiritual practice, you are finding security, and you are finding security within yourself, and once you have that security within yourself, this is when, this is when you can put that into your daily life. This is what you can do then, because this is what we need to feel secure within ourselves, because then we won't get swayed off the path, because how many people will say to you, oh, what's that rubbish you're learning, or whatever, and they don't get it. But when you find your stability through your spiritual faith, which that's when it comes, this is when you can then go forward, and you're ready to learn, and you're ready to give this daily practice, your energy, so it's an absolutely beautiful card. And what's happening here is where it's like he's rising up, and he's stepping up here as well, within this card. And this is what happens when we do evolve, and we find this security within ourselves. We don't look externally for it. We know that it is within us, and our strength is within us. So they're the two tarot cards that are there today. And then we have the Osho card. And like I say, I love how these cards all tie in with each other, And this is the Two of Rainbows. Now, when we see a double rainbow, that's always like a double whammy. I love it, and there's definitely some sort of blessing coming in with that. So what this card is saying when this card comes up is that the past is no more and the future is not yet. It's called moment to moment. Now, when you find this spiritual practice, when you find this within yourself, you don't project too much in the future. You don't look back at the past, because you know the past is gone, and you know the future will hold what it needs to hold for you. But it's about the now. It's about living every single day in the now, and what this does is that stops any anxiety, because most of the anxiety we feel is about something that's happened, which we can do sod all to change it, or something that might happen that we don't know, and we worry ourselves sick before it's even happened. So this is about like today, to live in the now. And it's like, you will end up where you're meant to be, but don't let the experiences of the past or the predictions or projections of the future taint your life in the now. This is about enjoying yourself on the way. And what happens is when we do this, we bring in this balance, which we talked about yesterday. We take control of our own minds, and we are no longer haunted by nonsense that can fill our head from the past and about what is going to happen in the future. I used to suffer massively with anxiety, and at times I was having like 12 panic attacks a day, and it was all because I was that scared about what was going to happen. Then when the worst things that I possibly thought happened, I had to deal with them. So it was like, what have I wasted all that time on, And like I say, it was the fear of what was to come. Once you let go, and once you just live every day, right, okay, live every day like it's your last, and don't worry about what's going to happen in the future or what's happened in the past, because they don't exist. It's only today. It's only the now that exists, And if we have a look at this card as well, he's not worried at all. He's just floating along there, and all these waves around him, these are like colors of the chakras here. And he's in perfect balance with himself and the universe, and this is because he has surrendered, and he surrendered to what will be, It's like, get up every day and say, where would you have me go? What will you have me do? And then wait for the answer. And do that, rather than planning ahead and having to having to worry that you are not going to get this done or you're not going to accomplish that task. It will all happen in perfect timing. And within this card, what I love is, I don't know if you can see it there, but we have like sort of buildings that were around him, which were structures, and these are starting to disappear because what's happened, he's like rising above the external stuff with him, and he's allowing himself to be guided here, and he's not letting like what he sees around him or the obstructions or the blocks around him, he's not letting that hinder him in any way, or thinking that he's failed, because failure really doesn't exist. All you do is you learn some way not to do something, so then you need to find another way to do it. I once, when this card came up, and I loved it, and I once pulled this card, and I got from Spirit that if we think about a small child, when they're learning to walk, that child will get up and that child will fall, more times than the steps that they take, and they fall and they stumble, and they never just sort of think, all right, I tell you what, I'm not a walker. I'm not meant to be a walker yet, They don't just give up. They don't say this is too hard. I'm not meant for walking, because children have no ego. So they don't see that as a failure, What they do is they carry on until they are able to do it. And then what happens is they start to walk, and then they start to learn to run, and their pace like quickens up. And then, then they're into everything. But because we are adults and we have ego and we have this fear of failure, if we don't do something right the first time, we see it as we failed. So we either stop it or we are scared to pursue it in the future. As absolute rubbish, Like I say, think of this child, because they get up. I mean, God, can you remember, if any of you have children, what it was like when they were first learning to walk? But within a couple of weeks, they'd mastered it, and this is it, master life. We've all been that child before. Every single one of you has been that child, but you persevered because the fear of failure was not there, and you went through the struggle, and now it is something that you take for granted. You get up on a morning, you get out of bed, and you don't think, all right, how do I walk? It's something now that just comes naturally. And this is what happens within our journey and within life. Things become natural that at one time we struggled. It's like when you're driving a car and you first get in the car and there's too many things to think about. It's gear stick, it's brakes, it's clutch, it's all of that. Now you just get in the car and you just drive. You don't think about that, So it's once we do something more and more, it becomes a habit. And this is within our spiritual practice as well. It actually comes naturally. I remember when I first became aware of the ego and stuff like that, there was so many times I was alerted to, wow, that was my ego there. And now it just, my brain doesn't even think in that way, a lot of the times. It still comes in because it always does, but I recognize it and push it away. I don't let it take over. But, it's all it is. It's just brain training there as well, So this is saying, like, drop any judgments, drop any preferences, drop any attachment to any long-term plans that you have, It's great to have goals, but don't make them your focus. It's about the here and now and living your life in a way that is enhancing you, for today. And then see what tomorrow brings as well, And whatever comes your way, know that you will be aware of it, And it's like, if there is bad and if there is shitty things happen, know that you've got to dust yourself down and pick yourself up and get up again. Like that child that fell down when they tried to walk, you get up and you go on again. And these stepping stones, this is what it's saying. Within life, we have stepping stones, and sometimes they're a little bit further away from the other. So we have to jump and we have to take that leap of faith. And we have to, so that's just reminded me of another thing in my dream last night. I spoke to somebody the other day, and they mentioned something about down the rabbit hole, and Spirit said that to me last night, get ready to go down the rabbit hole. And that's it. You don't know what's there, but you know that there's something exciting and something magical as well, If we have a look at this guy in this card, he has like some sort of karate or judo suit on as well, Now, both of these practices, judo or karate, whichever one it is, I'm not sure, are linked with self-discipline. They're linked with balance, your footing, and your alert mind. So all of these must be in coordination. They all must be working together to master these arts, and then you are your own master. So this is like, your discipline, your balance, your mind and your coordination. This is the four again that we've got in the Four of Wands. So this is when you will gain your stability. So like I say, this is about bringing in the balance within yourself. You might not have a clear idea of where you're going, or how you're going to get there, but so what? You will eventually end up where you are supposed to be. So until then, just relax, let go of any anxiety, breathe into your journey, because there is no rush to get to your destination. I talked about teachers before, and I talked about Alan Watts, and Alan Watts is such an amazing, I could listen to his voice for hours, and he talks about life being like music. And what he says is, if it was all about the destination, composers would only write the single note, and that would be the last one. You would go to a concert just to see somebody play one note, and then you clap and you go home. It's not. It's about the journey, it's the music at the start of it. It's how it makes you feel. It's the lyrics. It's everything like that. How this song progresses as well. And then at the end, you're left with, wow, that was a ride. And this is what life is, so it's not about the final destination. It's about the journey in how you're getting there and making the most of that and going moment to moment with it, so I love them cards. And then we have the Colette Baron Reid card, and this is peace, but it's in the protection position, and it's a lovely little peace dove there as well, and a white feather, which again was in my dream last night. There was so much. I really need to write them down today and see what all of the messages were that I was getting from him. So what this card is saying is stay calm despite what conditions you are going through at the moment, and that you have to go within and fine tune yourself, So when you find the harmony within yourself, when you find the harmony within the chaos, that harmony is within you. Don't look to the outer world for your security, which is what this is saying, because your security, once you are secure within you, it doesn't matter what house you inhabit, what life you are living or whatever. If you have this as security within you, this is when you will be at peace. It doesn't matter what you are going through, what your external circumstances are. What was quite interesting, on one of my videos, somebody wrote, sorry, I can't remember your name, but somebody had wrote that they had looked through all the messages within the video, and they had said like, wow, this isn't just me that's experiencing this. And I think that is a great thing to remember, Within life, when we have shit or when we have bad conditions, we take it personally, okay? And we think that life is dealing us a bad hand. But it's not. Every single day, everybody is fighting a battle. Every single one of us. It might be a different battle to yours, but it is not the universe, or the life is not just giving us a hard hand. Life works for us. Things don't happen to us, it works for us. So if you are experiencing some shit or some craziness, there is something that you need to learn within this. And this is what we're talking about. This is teachers. So your conditions and your exterior circumstances may be your biggest teacher. They're trying to teach you something that you need to learn. So when we remember that life isn't personal to us, it's not, everybody is going through it. When we take it personally, that is our ego, like, why me? Why me? Why not you? Because I'm telling you now, no matter what you are going through within your life and how bad you think it is, I know there are lives out there that are much worse. So, if you want to get picked up and dumped into somebody else's life, then you will see the real hardship of what people go through. And I'm not dismissing if you're going through hardships. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is always be mindful that, your life that you may feel is a nightmare may be somebody else's dream. Okay, so be aware of that, please. So with this card, sorry, again, what they're bringing in here, like I say, there's the angel wings, and this is about your faith as well, these feathers. So spirit are always with you, and spirit will send feathers. When I had a photography business, I called it white feather, that's what it was called. But They will let you know that they're there. They are trying to bring peace to you. Spirit are not trying to disrupt your life. They're trying to bring peace to you. And this is what all of us should be feeling on a daily basis. Now, when I got this card, what I got in with it is all things must pass. And like I say, I was talking about George Harrison the other day, because it was his birthday, and that is such a beautiful, beautiful album. And that album, within the first lines of the song, it says, "Sunrise doesn't last all morning, a cloudburst doesn't last all day." And this is it. You might be going through amazing, happy times at the moment, but know that they won't last. You will then experience some crap. But then that crap won't last neither. So then you will experience some happiness again. So this is life, Life does involve pain. As I said yesterday, without the rain, we can't have the rainbow. So if we were happy all the time and life was just this joyous adventure, where everything just happens in the way we want it all of the time, how would we ever learn? We would get very complacent. So life is about ups and downs. It's the wheel. It constantly turns, and pain within life is there. It's we can't get away from it, but it's the suffering that is optional. And once we actually find our spiritual practice, and once we realize that this pain we're experiencing is a part of our life, is a part of our learning, then this is when we can relax into it in peace, and we can experience this pain without this pain massively consuming us. Okay? So George Harrison, within this album, this All Things Must Pass, is he was actually moving on in life. He had found his spiritual practice. He was very into Buddhism. He was very into Hinduism. He was a seeker. And every single one of you that are watching this now are a seeker of some sort, because this is why you are watching these videos. This is why you have gone onto YouTube and typed that in, because there's something I need to know. And this is what happens, when we have this thirst for knowledge and we just keep getting pushed towards it and towards it and towards it. And like I say, the teachers will appear when they're meant to, and the external situations will appear when we have something to learn from them so that we can move on. So this is all about us evolving, and realizing that life is a lesson. And, the more we progress within this, the more we will feel this stability and peace within ourselves. And then when we do get, when we are presented with sort of things that at one time we thought we could never deal with. I mean, like I say, when I said I was having all these panic attacks and things like that, it would have, I used to worry about the slightest little thing. I used to worry about my mother dying and all of that. And then one day she did. She got killed. She went out in the car and never came back. But what did I do? It had happened then. I had to deal with it. But because I had started already on my spiritual practice, I dealt with that in a much better way. So, I'm not saying once you become all enlightened and Zen, you will never have a bad thing happen to you in your life again. You will. But you will deal with it in a different way, because you will have learned ways that don't work, which you may think you failed at, but you haven't. You've just learned that doesn't work in that way. So you will then put the new things that you've learned into practice, and this will allow you to go through anything, even if you're feeling pain, with a sense of peace and a sense of ease. It makes things easier. And I feel this is what this is saying, when you have this faith within your life, and when you believe and you trust and you surrender and you feel secure within yourself and within your beliefs, this is when life can deal you anything, and that you will get through, and that it will end one day. Whatever you're experiencing at the moment, it might end tomorrow. I'm not saying your life, I'm saying the pain. You get up one morning and suddenly it's like, right, okay, things aren't that bad today, and you start to see the light, and then, right, okay, I'm getting George Harrison again in my head there, he's around a lot at the moment. I love that. Here comes the sun, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter, but here comes the sun, and this is what I feel at the minute. And wow, have you seen that? The sun has just shone right into my face there, from there. So yeah, there's proof, you know. They always give you proof. So yeah, you know, it's there's something good happening. There is. I can feel it. So I hope those cards made sense. I don't know if I rambled a bit there, but that was what was coming through. But yeah, here comes the sun, you know. Fantastic. So, have an absolutely fabulous day today. Please get in touch if you would like to book a reading. Anybody that has booked one or sent money for a reading, remember, please, could you send me an email or something today so that I can get back to you? And I will try my hardest to get the March videos up for the signs that I haven't done already. I think there's 5 of them that still need doing. And thank you very much to all the ones that have watched the ones that are up already. Okay, so have a fabulous day. I've got a real... Something could happen today. Something could happen today. There's something in the air. Please let me know if it does. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow with the cards of today. Sat now.